My name is Thomas. I'm the author of this book. My brother Michael did the illustrations. And it's based on a true story that happened to my grandmother back in the 20s. Little Margaret and the Big Brown Boots. On the first day of school, all the children were ready to start the new year. They had new books and shiny lunch pails, and they were all dressed in the finest, prettiest clothes. The girls wore fancy dresses trimmed with white lace and shoes tied with long, colorful ribbons. Little Margaret was different. She did not have new books, a shiny lunch pail, a fancy dress, or pretty shoes. She had dusty old books and a rusty, squeaky lunch pail. She wore a plain yellow dress and, instead of shoes with long, colorful ribbons, she wore her father's dirty, old pair of big, brown boots. The other girls at school would laugh and tease little Margaret, saying, "Margaret's got brown boots. Margaret's got brown boots." Little Margaret tried to hide her big brown boots by pulling her yellow dress over them, but that didn't work very well. She even tried to dress them up with pink ribbons, but that didn't look very good either. Little Margaret tried to go to school without her boots on, but she stepped in muddy puddles and her bare feet were a mess. She tried to play hide and seek during recess, but she couldn't tiptoe quietly with those big brown boots on her feet. The girls would always hear little Margaret coming with a loud clunk, thunk. She tried to join the tap dancing club, but little Margaret's big brown boots didn't sound like clickety-clacks. They sounded like thud, womp, wham. Little Margaret's big brown boots were no fun at all. That evening, little Margaret told her mother all about what happened at school, and that she didn't want to wear her brown boots anymore. Her mother listened and smiled. "Little Margaret," she said kindly, "one day those boys and girls will all stop laughing. You'll see." So little Margaret kept wearing her big brown boots to school. One day, a great big rattlesnake slithered into the schoolhouse and frightened all the teacher and all the boys and girls. "Eek!" they shouted. "There's a snake in the classroom." The snake wriggled and wormed throughout the classroom, looking for something tasty to eat. He crawled into a little girl's lunch pail, and she let out a screech. The slippery snake slithered and snapped his big white fangs. "Sssss," the snake said. Then he ate that girl's sandwich. Oh no! Little Margaret was on her way to school when she heard the screams and shrieks coming from the schoolhouse. With her big brown boots, she stomped her way up to the schoolhouse. Little Margaret marched in, and with her big brown boot, she kicked that slippery snake right out the window. The snake slithered away into the bushes and never came back to the schoolhouse again. All the boys and girls shouted, "Hooray for Margaret!" From that day on, they never teased little Margaret about her big brown boots again. Even though her boots were old, rough, and muddy, little Margaret was proud to wear them. When little Margaret came home from school that day, her mother and father gave her a gift wrapped in a gold ribbon. Little Margaret opened the box, and inside were a shiny new pair of purple shoes. Little Margaret thanked her mother and father for the lovely purple shoes. She wore her purple shoes to school every day, but every now and then, little Margaret still liked to wear her big brown boots. The end.